say on Iran, bad things will happen if Iran doesn't make
really
the
bad
deal.
things.
What will that
I'm not going to talk to you about that.
Okay, can you explain, though, what is the goal if there is a U.S. military
Well, we'll
strike?
either make a deal or we're going to get a deal one way or the other. I'm not going to talk to you about that, but we're either going to get a deal or it's going to be unfortunate for them.
Deadline firm to make a deal?
I would think that would be enough time, 10, 15 days, pretty much maximum. Now is the time for Iran to join us on a path that will complete what we're doing. And if they join us, that'll be great. If they don't join us, that'll be great too. But it'll be a very different path. They cannot continue to threaten the stability of the entire region, and they must make a deal. Or if that doesn't happen, I maybe can understand. If it doesn't happen, it doesn't happen. But bad things will happen if it doesn't.
Donald Trump has set a time frame for a potential strike on Iran as US assets navigate towards the Middle East. The US president could launch an attack within the next 2 weeks.
President Trump launching his Board of Peace in Washington Thursday with dozens of countries focused on rebuilding Gaza after its war with Israel.
An easy word to say, but a hard word to produce: peace.
The total cost to rebuild could reach $70 billion. Members are also expected to commit thousands of military members for a stabilization force.
Gaza must not get stuck in a no man's land between peace and war.
Some of the U.S.'s closest allies, including France and Germany, have not joined the board and instead renewed their support for the United Nations.
We are hearing the chattering class criticizing the structure of the board, that it's unconventional, that it's unprecedented. Again, the old ways were not working.
But while today's meeting focuses on ending one war, another may be brewing. It comes as the president has ordered a buildup of military assets in the Middle East to pressure Iran to give up its nuclear program. Iran, meanwhile, is holding military drills with Russia.
Maybe we're going to make a deal. You're going to be finding out over the next probably 10 days.
When lawmakers return from recess next week, Congressman Ro Khanna and Thomas Massie plan to force a vote that would require Trump to get congressional approval for an attack on Iran. The assets now in place make it possible for an attack as early as this weekend.
Okay, let's switch topics because there's a bit around on Iran this morning, John. Donald Trump has said that he wants answers within 10 days. Now, those with a longer memory will remember last year he gave a longer time frame before hitting Iran, and then he struck it within a day or two. Do you feel like history could repeat itself here? Because there's some reporting that suggested there could be a hit that comes this weekend.
Yeah, it's possible. So the Iranians are trying to play for time to make it diplomatically and politically more difficult for the Trump administration to do it. The other piece is they're continuing to try to crack down on the enormous discontent with the Iranian people. The Iranian people want the mullahs gone. Trump is trying to line them up and make sure there's a leader around which they can coalesce so that when the strikes do come, it gives an opening for the Iranian people to finish off this dreadful regime. The Iranian government also realized realizes that the American military can't sustain forces at this posture, this level of readiness indefinitely. Those two carriers there, one of them has been at sea. If it's there for another 3 months, it'll be the longest deployment in American naval history. So we're on a clock, especially since these airstrikes won't be massive in scale, probably be very precise, but they could have to last a long time because what they're trying to go after is the Iranian Republican Guard, the command and control, to give the protesters and those that would overthrow the regime a fighting chance.
Yeah, we're just looking at these pictures of the US president. He's just landed in Georgia. I mean, all of those assets, you just pointed to some of them, John, they've been shifted towards the region. Is there an inevitability about a strike, or is this just a flex, a tactic?
In my opinion, it is nearly inevitable. The Iranian regime sees this as existential. The mullahs aren't going to let go of power. President Trump is going to have to strike. The Iranian people want him to strike. They're being very clear about that. After 30-some thousand have been slaughtered, they want the police state dismantled, which we can do from the air. The real question is what kind of contacts are going on between the administration and the Iranian army with the Artesh, which is very different from the Republican Guard. Is the Iranian army just going to stand by and not participate or turn against the government? There's a lot of mid-level contacts and stuff going on behind the scenes. It's going to be very interesting to see how that plays out as well.
Does Iran have anything to stand on anymore, though? I mean, it's got these negotiations that are taking place, but as we know, and I mean, it is a depleted force.
Yeah, it is. I mean, Hamas has been crippled. Hezbollah has been humiliated. Most of their air defense network has been rendered inoperable. So American and or Israeli aircraft can operate over Iranian space with impunity. And that includes a lot of Russian systems, which is kind of embarrassing to the Russians. Nobody likes the Iranian regime. The Arab world is backing away from this. They have no allies. They're trying to flex in the Strait of Hormuz, but that's pretty weak sauce. One way or another, the regime is going to go. And there was enormous transfers of money out of Tehran by a lot of the elites in the last few weeks, too, to banks around the world.
Okay. It's always good to talk to you, John. We appreciate it. We'll chat to you again next week.